Hey everybody, it's Damer and Mac here from OCR Kings, and we wanted to revisit a Spartan obstacle. We've done a video on this one already, but it's changed.
Right. So it was time for an update.
Yes, definitely the time. So the obstacle's Olympus, and our last video, it's definitely gone through a tighter, steeper angle. There's no question. They changed from a wooden frame and a wooden deck. Now they've switched to that weird plastic, much more slippery surface, and they're using a metal frame, and it definitely is a steeper angle. So you really got to get your feet up high.
Makes a big difference.
It definitely is different than when we first encountered it. We've seen it in quite a few races since they've made that change. Mm-hmm. So we'd like to play a couple of videos, and let's see if we can find a strategy that helps you get through this obstacle.
All right, so here's some night footage. Okay, this is our evolution of dealing with this obstacle.
Yes, and we've actually slimed up our own obstacle build here. So this is our Olympus build in the backyard proving ground. And you can see we're kind of, we're talking about how to approach it. When we first saw Olympus, they didn't have the balls hanging. There was no chain and no ball. So it was just those child handholds.
Yeah.
And those
backyard playgrounds.
Yes, and those 3-inch holes. And if you're going to use those, you need to stay as high as possible.
Absolutely.
Like your knees in this example. This is Matt going through right now. He is way high, and he's actually using a technique that he's got his knees, shins, shoes against the deck, and he's just really right along the top of the obstacle, staying high.
That used to work great when the angle wasn't as severe, and the deck surface was wood, because you would create a lot of friction, and it would keep you there.
And you were even slipping on that one a bit.
Slipping, and now with the slipperier surface, I have to say, that is arm-centric, and it's your biceps are just like, So we'll get to the evolution in a minute here. So this is you, Dan.
Yeah, so here's me. I jump on it, and I'm like, you know what? let's transition to the chain and the ball. I love the fact that the ball is there. Your hand can kind of slide down the chain and against the ball and really hold yourself.
Definitely.
As long as you get your feet up way high, higher than you think they should be, is the absolute key.
Now you're even going backwards.
Yep,
too.
going back. So came down the line. Now I'm going back.
Okay.
So I'm feeling good.
I like our target there too for the spears. This is a multi-function obstacle that we have in the backyard there. Yep. So I'm looking at it again saying, Now this is after we saw the upgraded Olympus in SoCal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And you were the first to successfully encounter it and complete it. And you did it with your feet to the decks, just like you did in the footage we just saw.
And we actually have that footage, so we could cut to that footage right here if we want to see that.
Well, this is mine. The first time I'm like, let me try this thing. It worked for this guy.
Like, look at where your feet are. Your foot, that left foot, is seriously the same exact height as the ball. Right there. You're only like an inch below that. It was like really nice.
And I'm actually to transition back because my arms aren't smoked.
And I like your body shape is like a perfect L. It was like back, legs are straight out to the deck, feet are flat against the deck.
Stick your butt out away from
as far as possible. It was like your legs were completely extended. It was like really not a lot of slippage.
And the hardest thing really is giving you credit for having a better technique than I do. This was the first time you encountered the slippery surface. This is SoCal 2020, pre-COVID. Okay, right, and there you are, feet to the deck. Look how high your feet were right there.
Pre-COVID, as in it was happening.
Yeah, well, we were just about to shut down the country.
Yeah,
but
it really was.
Boom, came out of nowhere. You tried that. You used the chains, and boom, feet to the surface. Across you went.
Yep, definitely. So now here we are. We jump to New Hampshire.
This is a year later. This is 2021.
Yep.
I was surprised that you like, oh, let me try this.
I'm like, let me stay high. Let me see how the high works.
Oh, nostalgia.
I was like, got got one board in. I was
Nope.
like, that technique is just
Chains
it's not the
and the balls.
it wasn't just the most efficient. I could feel it. I could feel arms immediately. So I was like, you know what?
You are grabbing the chain right where it meets the ball. Okay,
Yep.
the balls are metal and they have some weight to them. Those are heavy.
Yep.
Okay, but I actually saw the tip of one of your feet in the shot right there. Feet high, feet to the surface,
Yeah.
hands to
Same
the
thing.
chains.
Like legs straight out, pushing against the deck. It was like, so you're pushing away to gain as much friction as possible.
Use me. Okay, so
Yep.
I decided that I wanted to do the chains, Damer's technique, but I wanted gloves because I wanted to grip the hell out of the chains and they were starting to rip my hands a little bit. I typically don't like gloves, but I found gloves that are great when they're wet and they're great on
Yep.
wet metal.
Same technique. It's still slippery no matter what you do. You can see Mac's feet slip in there a little bit, but feet are real high. And it's just working it right down the line.
boom.
Looking real good. 1, 2, 1, 2, going down.
Worst
And
case-
then he smashes.
Mongo smash, bell angry.
Hit bell.
Ugh.
Oh, now we broke it.
This you gotta pay for it if you break it. So this is me at Killington. Those are the gloves that I was talking about. I like to do hand to hand, so reach low like Damer does, and then it leaves me space at the top to put my hand on the same chain. And it's just feet high, hands high. It's actually fun. Not a gimme,
Real nice.
but definitely fun.
Now, it definitely helps if the surface is dry. So, obviously, if just the way Spartan has the race lined up, coming out of a wet obstacle onto dry, find the driest portion as possible.
Right. Except don't do this.
Yeah, so this
Walk like an Egyptian, right?
this
across-
seems to be a new technique we saw a lot of people doing, and we're not going to jump on anybody and say anything.
No,
but it is absolutely in Spartan's rules. You
Not allowed.
cannot put your feet on any
the climbing holds.
on
Yeah.
any holds
No.
or any holes.
No.
So what that video just showed, and he wasn't the only one. There was a ton of people
I think the guy
using
is
that
going to
technique.
do it right after him,
This
too.
guy's doing it, and then further, like we saw at least 3 or 4 people while we were at that obstacle do that
Right.
illegal technique.
Now,
So-
I mean, there was no official there. There was nobody saying, "Hey, dude, you can't
do that.
Get down."
and
but
in
I
a,
mean-
and in a way, they were trying because they weren't touching the top of the obstacle.
I think
but
this guy is.
it clearly says you can't touch with your feet the holes or the handholds.
Or the handholds.
So,
I mean, otherwise, yeah, that would be very sensible. You know,
Yeah.
why do I
If-
smoke my arms?
if that was a way to do it, I'd be
we would be 100%.
be walking along that the whole time.
Just turn around and come back on the other side.
So, Spartan's Olympus, it's not a gimme.
It's really, really
So,
slick.
at the moment, the best technique that we have found is getting your feet as high as possible, using the chain
Right.
to the ball, and just leaning back and just transitioning through it as quickly and as safely as you can.
Absolutely.
We've tried everything else. At the moment, that's the technique that works for us. If you've got something else that may work a little bit better, we haven't thought about it, like, please let us know. It's like, we'll try it. We'd love to hear about it.
Absolutely.
It's like, maybe we'll give you credit. It was like, this
Yeah,
is the
definitely.
new way to do it. We were wrong. We are more than happy to say that. So if you got something better, let us know.
Absolutely. You know what, though? Until that time, remember, as always, train hard.
Have fun.